My name's Emma. Today we were talking about travel and what it changes in our lives. When it comes to choices and decisions, the ones we make with more intention will help us create a world that we are proud to live in. And we make a lot of choices every single day. And what we talk about here on this channel is how to create better ones to create an intentional life. Travel can bring us to beautiful places all across the world and can teach us a great deal about the world that we live in, the world and society outside of the ones that we are directly associated with, and can help us realize what is good and what can be changed in our own lives. I got to travel to Europe at the end of my freshman year, and there was quite a difference in experience in how they go through schooling and how they deal with work. They don't have overtime, they're not obsessed with work like the American culture, and they really work so that they can live. And it seems like that opposite is true here in America for most parts of the country and for most people. So I learned that it is important to just take a break and to really be present with what you're doing and understand that it is not the be-all or the end-all, and that outside of work you should be encouraged and have a passion outside of it so that there is some more meaning and that life has more to do with everything that we do outside of work than just going to work itself. We have a lot to learn from that. But also, it was quite a different experience from what I had as one of my last college experiences, where I lived in Ghana for a few months and I lived in a rural village there, and it was quite the opposite experience. And I learned a lot about a different culture, different people, and I brought back with me that we don't need a great deal of material items to make us happy. The happiest people I saw there had the least, and they were happy to just be able to talk with each other, to be able to laugh with one another. They enjoyed the simple joys of life, and they're really the most important. And that was a really important lesson for me, to not get caught up in the bustle and hustle of life, but to really enjoy and to stop and be present with the people that I'm next to, because I don't know if I'm going to be around them again, or if I am, when that would be. And especially with a pandemic happening right after that experience, my life changed quite a bit, and I had to really dig deep and hold on to the little joys in life and look forward to them to make dealing with what's going on in the world a little bit easier. And when it comes to the reasons that we travel, there was quite a few different reasons why I wanted to go to different places. I went to London to go to Leavesden to see the Harry Potter studios. I wanted to go to New Orleans because the originals was filmed there, and I was there the last week the final episode premiered, but they were not hosting the last screening in New Orleans, but in Georgia, where a majority of the filming was done, and I wasn't fully aware of that. So I ended up getting to experience where those last scenes were filmed in New Orleans, and then got to watch the last episode a few weeks later. And then I went to Ireland because my favorite author, Oscar Wilde, was born there, and he had a few parks named after him, and I just wanted to experience what the places that he saw that were part of the influence for his books. So there was different places that I traveled to because of books, because of shows, because of authors, because of movies, and it was quite a good start to want to go to those places, but I also learned a lot more about the cultures of those places and the importance in regards to history of New Orleans, of London, of Dublin, where I went to in Ireland. And it wasn't necessarily my first intentional goal to go down there and view and experience all these things, but I did realize that, I do want to experience as many different ways that people have lived in this city, and to kind of actually get a feel of what people experience. And of course, I will never be able to truly experience everything, but being able to walk those same streets and to talk to some locals really does bring you a new perspective on how your life is lived, where you go back to, and how many lessons we take with us and how long they actually stay with us. There's things that we experience on travel and we say, this is going to change me forever. And sometimes it does, and sometimes we just revert back to our old ways, intentionally or not. So when I do travel again, I do want to do it with more intention of how is this experience going to change me and how am I going to take that with the rest of my life? And I know you might be thinking, well, I'm not going to travel anytime soon. But what is something that we do all the time where we are traveling? We travel every single time. We read a book, we watch a movie, we watch a show, we talk to someone about their experiences and where they're from and their personal story. So every time we are traveling, when we are creating any kind of experience in our life, traveling doesn't mean you have to get on a plane and go to a completely new country and with a completely different language. It could literally be you go to a few towns over and learn the history of that town, or you hop on YouTube or Google and you search your favorite show and then read an article on the history of the city that it was filmed in. You know, there's opportunity to learn about the world and to travel through our world without ever actually leaving our homes. And it will make us a more intentional traveler, a more well-experienced person in this world if we take into consideration where we're actually going and planning ahead different experiences that we want to have, and also being free and open to having organic experiences with the people that you meet, or if you know somebody there already, they take you to a place that a local would probably know of and maybe not a tourist, which of course there's many in all cities. And for whatever reason you're traveling, remember to do it with intention. Remember to go there with the intention that you want to experience something, and how that experience changes you will of course depend. But if we are more intentional and we aren't just doing things just to do them, we aren't just taking a vacation somewhere because it's the cool thing to do, and even if that is the reason why we want to go somewhere, we just want a break, during those breaks, we can continue to travel in the place that we go to, and also through the books that we read there or the experiences that we enjoy. And of course, talking to people in your life and learning about the experiences they had growing up. If they're from another place in this world, learning about their cultures and their experiences is also a form of traveling. And you know, if you get really close, someday they might even take you. But of course, respect people and their stories. And remember, you are not entitled to anyone's story. And just because you ask somebody to share something with you, they don't have to. But it is always a possibility that somebody wants to share with you. And do not be upset with someone if they choose not to share an experience. There's so many different places where we can learn about all parts of the world. And people, books, movies, shows, they're all just one of the places. You don't necessarily have to jump on a plane and go to a brand new country. So I hope you got something out of this. So the next time that you travel, remember you're traveling any time that you have any kind of experience, and we can learn every single time. So I hope to see you soon, but until then, I hope you have an amazing day.